Not like for example. Yeah.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
A few technical difficulties ironed out at the last second. We think. We'll find out. We have a live stream audience tonight, and one of those people is the real life Jeff that Bill Carmelo will be playing. So, hi, Fred. Enjoy. About 1985, a friend of mine, Fred Burke, and I got together and we decided to write a play about the year 2020, the year of perfect vision, right? And we wanted to figure out what it would be like if a group of friends, us, got together and we're celebrating a friend's birthday. And so we tried to imagine the future 35 years later. So 32 years have passed. We're doing this a few years before 2020. We'll see what's held up. I've not made any changes in the text as originally written on a dot matrix printer, for those of you who remember that. And so I'm going to be reading the stage directions, the descriptions of our characters, and doing some sound effects and playing me. That's the scariest part.
Song from Let's Talk. WFEC FM 102. Easy listening to your favorite mellow hits of the past. Up next, The Who.
The Who's My Generation begins to play as the stage lights come up on a living room that has been decorated with balloons and streamers. These set off a banner that says, "Happy 65th Birthday, Dan." A buffet is set, and the furniture, which includes a couch, 2 recliners, a coffee table, and upright piano, has been rearranged for the occasion. It all has the air of being overdone, which it is since it was arranged by Felicity. The 44-year-old Felicity is also overdone. She uses too much makeup and wears unflattering clothes, which do not hide her weight. She is also one of those people who will come upon a table that is completely set and move each item on the table a quarter of an inch so that its arrangement may suit her. She enters now with some food, which she places on the table. She begins to adjust and fuss.
Dan, come on. We've got to get this place ready.
I'm coming.
Dan enters. He is 65 years old, but acts older. He's flabby, has gray hair, glasses, and walks as if his minor back pain and stomach problems will kill him at any moment. He carries a framed 8x10 photo of the old gang.
I don't see what the whole fuss is about. It's only my retirement party. A few friends are coming, and that's it.
If it's no big deal, why have you been carrying that picture around for the past 3 days?
I was just remembering them. Can I look at it, for God's sake?
Yes, Dan. Dan, I've been wondering. You said these friends of yours were in business with you when you knew them.
Yeah. We started the company after we graduated college. They left, and I stayed on.
Well, what I was wondering was, why did they leave?
You know how these things are. Their lives were more important. They had other things they wanted to do, so they went off and did them. I stayed with the company and built it up to where it is today.
It seems odd that they all left so suddenly.
Well, they did.
Well, they should be arriving soon. Right on cue. I'll get it. You sit down and relax.
Don't treat me as if I'm an old man.
That's what you're always telling me you are.
Hello, I'm Jeffrey Taylor. I'm here for Dan's party.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm Felicity. I was Dan's secretary before he retired.
They enter. Jeff is 63, and although he's a bit of flab around the middle, he's still in pretty good shape. His hair is black, brushed only lightly with gray, and he is dressed in casual, sporty clothes. He's bearing a gift.
I'll take the present and put it over there.
Woman, stop interfering. Can't he hand it to me so I can shake it before you take it out of my hands?
All right.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Jeff. Good to see you again.
How have you been?
The same. Backache from all those years from leaning over a desk, stomach trouble from too much coffee, tired of working. Now I'm tired of retirement, and it's only been a week.
You shouldn't have retired, Dan. You've got to keep going. until you die.
That's easy for a man who likes his job. Still doing the consulting.
Yeah. Every week I fly somewhere else and show someone how to use the new computers. You'd think by now everyone would know how to work the damn things.
Where's your wife?
Oh, Cassie's still out in the car. She couldn't get the exit code for the rental car. And you know how she is. She wouldn't let me help her. So she's out there pushing buttons, trying to open the door. She must have gotten it.
Felicity goes to the door and admits Cassie, Jeff's wife. Cassie is 57, wears a little too much makeup, but otherwise looks very healthy. She is dressed very fashionably. Cassie immediately crosses to Jeff.
I see you made it.
Hello, Dan. It's good to see you again.
Hi, Cassie. Felicity, put this present on the table, will you please?
I hope you like it, Dan. I picked it out for you.
Yeah, I'm terrible at gift giving.
Tell me about it. For our last anniversary, do you know what he gave me? A new food processor.
I think that's very nice.
And it was her color, too.
Still in the same line of work, Cassie?
Oh, yes.
Cassie's a beautician.
Cosmetologist.
Yeah, she's into science. Cosmetology and astrology.
Jeff, that's about the 1000th time you made that joke.
People think it's funny.
I don't.
No, yeah, I forgot.
I'll get it.
I'm really glad to see my friends again.
I'm glad to be here.
Is this Dan Gordon's house?
Yes, it is. You must be Angela.
Yes, I am.
Come this way. I'll take that.
Felicity, holding Angela's gift, leads Angela into the room. Angela is 53 and she is mellowed with age. She has gray hair, is short and still slightly overweight, but looks very good. She obviously takes good care of herself. Dan crosses to her and only vaguely hugs her when she hugs him. It is obvious he is very glad to see her in spite of his restraint.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Angela. It's nice to see you again.
I'm glad I could come. Hello, Jeff. Cassie, how are you?
Fine.
Couldn't be better.
Good. Well, are we the only ones here?
So far, there's hors d'oeuvres here if you'd like some, and I'd be happy to serve as bartender as usual.
Nonsense, Dan. I'll take care of our guests. You just relax and enjoy yourself. What can I get you? Today's specialty is strawberry daiquiris.
Oh, that sounds so good. I'll have one.
Me too.
Jeff,
I'll go with the flow.
Dan, your usual?
As always. Why don't we all sit down?
So, Dan, how does it feel to be retired? How long has it been now?
A week. It's all right. I still get up at the same time and go to bed at the same time.
No, I can't see myself retiring. I couldn't stand sitting around all day.
Well, I don't just sit around. I do things. I do just as much as I did, maybe a bit less. That'll be Adam.
Hello, beautiful. Where's the man of the house? Tell me he's not home and I'll transport you to the heights of ecstasy.
He's in here.
Adam enters. He is 62, stands totally erect, and has only the vaguest hint of a middle bulge. What's left of his hair is white. Casual clothes indicate his profession is in higher education. He's full of energy and crosses directly to Dan and hugs him. Hello, old man. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I? You look well. Tell me you feel well.
I feel well.
You're lying, but that's okay. Jeff, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hi, Adam.
Hello, Cassie. As beautiful as always, I see.
Flatterer.
I never flatter, I merely compliment. Hello, Angela. God, I haven't seen you in, oh, how long has it been?
4 months.
I visited her for Christmas. Her husband still thinks I'm interested in her after all these years. And of course, he's right. Where is he?
He didn't want to come. He thought he'd be in the way.
He's right about that, too. He would have been. And who is this enchanting woman, Dan?
This is my secretary. I mean, ex-secretary, Felicity.
Hello, Felicity.
Hello, Adam. Would you like a drink?
Sure.
I recommend the house special. Strawberry daiquiris.
Sounds good.
I'll get you one.
Ex-secretary, eh? What does that mean?
It means she was my secretary until I retired.
Anything else?
No, she's been with the company for 15 years and she's taking over my position. She also looked after me since my wife's death.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could have gotten to the funeral, but I was in Canada at the time. And I didn't hear about it until it was too late.
That's all right.
How long has it been?
10 years.
Long time.
How long have you been alone?
4 years.
I wanted to make the funeral, but I didn't.
Oh, well, old news. Is that your car out front, Jeff?
You're only for the weekend. We flew in and got a rental.
It seemed pretty sporty for a man of your age and position.
How did you get here, Adam?
I borrowed my son's car and drove him from New York.
Did he get that job he wanted?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce at this time that my son will be directing his first Broadway production. A musical, no less.
That's great.
And to think I didn't even want him to go into the theater
Why not?
and follow in my footsteps through poverty. I thought he'd go into science like his mother. Jeff, how's your daughter doing?
Speaking of microchips off the old block, she just got a job with the government doing research for the new space station. Not bad for a nuclear engineer.
Not at all. Mine are doing well too. Mary has decided to run for Congress in the next election, and Jack is still in Africa. He says helping people who really need it is more important than profit, and besides, no one ever sues him for malpractice.
How about your daughter, Dan?
Sherry just had her third child. That makes 2 boys and a girl.
This is a late pregnancy for her, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's pretty safe nowadays, and she said it was okay. She had just finished another book.
How many is that now?
12.
I never thought that your daughter would become a writer. I remember you in English composition class in college.
Yeah, I nearly flunked because my handwriting was so bad.
I wrote a poem about it. Dip an ant into an inkwell, let it walk across the stage. Take the finished product and put it on the stage. When the critics see it, you'll be all the rage, an absurdist piece of poetry written by a sage. Hey, I've got something else for you to hear, from what I hope is a forthcoming musical. In the good old days of the 80s, I had such an eye for the ladies, but I lived with too many fears. Those were, alas, the Reagan years.
Have you heard from Tom lately?
No, last time I heard from him, he was on one of his tours. That was back when he was still a rock star. Now that he's a record producer, I guess he's too busy to keep in touch.
Who's Tom?
Tom Strang. I introduced him to Adam, and they wrote a few songs together.
Yeah, I still hear one now and then on those golden oldie stations. Get an occasional royalty check, which is nice too.
It's too bad you couldn't have continued to collaborate.
Yeah, we moved on to other things. That happens. But I'm glad you got us together.
Don't worry about it.
I don't worry about it. I just wanted to thank you again.
Well, we talked about the kids. How about us? Adam, you first.
Well, I'm doing quite well. Ever since the university has adopted computer teaching, my load has been pretty light. But they still need some of us, the best of us, I like to think. So I go around and play guest director at different regional theaters. Keeps me busy. How about you?
As I told Dan, I'm still flying around showing people how to deal with a new wave of computers. They keep asking, where's the keyboard? Then I have to explain how the voice input control works and how it will adjust to the regional dialects. That's most of my job, programming the workers' dialect differences in.
And every time he comes home, he talks like he's from another part of the country. It's always a couple of days before he gets over it.
What are you up to these days, Cassie?
Well, I'm still working at the salon. There's still some things that machines can't do. The rest of my time is taken up with trying to stay in shape. All my life I've been working out, and I don't want to get any fatter now.
And she puts up with me.
That takes most of my time.
Angela, what are you doing?
I'm public education director at a museum in New York State. I'm in charge of the newsletter, I run the volunteer program, and coordinate school tours, among other things. But the big news is we finally got that Victorian house we had our eye on, and we're beginning the restoration.
I remember how much you loved antiques. You see, I still have that desk you always liked.
I noticed. When I was much younger, I thought that one day I would co-own it.
Too bad it didn't work out.
Another round of drinks?
I think I'd like another.
Yes, this was quite good, Felicity.
Thanks. Would you like to help me get the second batch?
Sure. Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Well, Adam hasn't changed much. He still does have an eye for the ladies.
At least he was never unfaithful to his wife.
Is that what he told you?
Yes, he told me everything. Occasionally he had urges, but never followed through on them. Not many men do that.
Well, I know Jeff would never cheat on me. Right, darling?
Right. So how's the old business doing, Dan?
Okay, it was a little shaky internally, but that's all over now.
I still find it hard to think of you as retired.
I guess it's something you get used to. I've spent all my life founding a business, building it up, and making sure everything is running as smoothly as possible, and then suddenly it all stops.
Dan,
These are my friends. They're not going to tell anyone. The board of directors decided to narrow the focus of the firm. Of course, I opposed it. That's why I took early retirement. I didn't want to, but I was forced to.
So get another job.
You think that's easy? When I was 40, I thought about making a career change, but it would have been too difficult. At 65, it's damn impossible.
There's got to be something you can do.
Life has improved in many ways, but not in that one. I don't know. I worked my ass off for that company. It was my life, and now it doesn't seem like I did much of anything.
Sure you did.
But that job was everything to me. Life never offered me so much, except my wife.
Sometimes I think our generation missed out on everything. We missed out on the Woodstock generation where there seemed to be some hope, but we came of age during Watergate and disco. Since that time, there's been nothing new.
Ah, yes, nostalgia. I remember it well.
It's not what it used to be, though.
I'm serious. All the great thinkers of the 20th century were gone before we realized it. Carl Jung, Buckminster Fuller. There have been no new developments.
What do you mean? When Adam and I graduated from high school in 1975, there was no such thing as a personal computer. 10 years later, we all had them. Now look at what we have. Could you imagine, even back in 1995, what we'd be able to do with a PC now?
Back then, we thought the microchip was the latest word in electronics.
Yeah, who expected Zorb crystals?
Yeah, who invented those again?
Alexander Zorb?
Oh, yeah.
Those are technological things. I'm talking about society. There have been no changes there. We still have crime, wars, political problems. Adam, you told me years ago that the two-party system was dead.
It still is.
But we still have it.
Angela's right. I remember how the five of us were going to change the world.
But that's in the past. We all went on to our successes in some way. We went on. We couldn't stay in the past anymore. You shouldn't dwell in the past either.
Well, what's wrong with the past? I enjoyed those days a great deal, especially our days in business together. There's nothing like that today.
But you have to go on.
To what? I'm 65. I've been forced into retirement. The only thing left is death. I'm not looking forward to that.
You don't have to look forward to it, but it is a part of life. Anyway, with the increased human lifespan now, you've still got a good 25 years ahead of you.
Adam's right. Besides, it's not like you're not leaving anything behind. You've built up your business. You had a lovely wife, a successful daughter, and now you've got 3 grandchildren.
That's supposed to be a great legacy? The future of mankind exemplified by my grandchildren?
That is a great legacy.
You've never met my grandson, Marcus.
Marcus, is he the oldest?
Yes. God, what gets into these kids today? Would you get that, Felicity? That's probably him now. Sherry had the slides of us from the old days, and I asked him to bring them over.